The mountain man swayed back just enough to be out of range of his opponent's fist. Then he set the 3 beer glasses on the bar. He spun to face Finley. "Hey!" the bartender yelled. He reached below the counter and came up with a wooden club. "No fighting in here. Get out of my—" Finley threw another left-handed punch. Preacher caught the blow on his right forearm and turned it aside. The impact partially numbed his arm. The lieutenant was strong as a mule. Moving quickly, because both of Finley's cohorts closed in and one of them had somehow gotten the bartender's club, Preacher took a half-step forward and jabbed Finley in the face with his left hand hard enough to drive the man back, then pummeled him with a roundhouse right that caught him on the jaw and sent him stumbling backward in a rush. The man behind Finley attempted to catch the lieutenant and became tangled with him. The third man circled them. Lantern light glinted dully off the brass knuckles on his fists as he stepped toward Preacher. Before the man's lead foot planted solidly on the sawdust-strewn and beer-stained floor, Preacher kicked the man's ankle and knocked him off balance. As the man tried to recover his stance, the mountain man caught his opponent's left wrist in one hand and gripped the man's elbow in the other. When the man tried to yank free, Preacher used the motion to violently crank the captured hand down and back. He drew his hand from the man's elbow, then drove it back down as hard as he could. Something snapped in the man's elbow or shoulder, possibly both, and he squalled in pain. He dropped to the floor and cradled his injured arm. Preacher didn't care. He'd intended to break at least one of those joints to reduce the odds and let the brawlers know how far he was willing to go. Finley and his men outnumbered Preacher and his companions, and this wasn't just a barroom brawl. The surprise attack and the brass knuckles proved that. Beyond the fallen man, Lorenzo and Tall Dog squared off against the other 4 soldiers. Patrons of the Scalded Beaver, including the man in the D'Orsay hat and his friends, were vacating the premises, but several of them crowded the windows to peer inside. They were backlit by the scattered lanterns that kept the night at bay along the cross streets where the tavern sat. "Don't kill them unless you have to," Preacher bellowed. He wasn't wishful for any trouble with the current army major or Pierre Chouteau. Fighting was one thing, but killing a man would bring more problems. He'd only intended a couple days of respite before returning to the mountains he loved.